God, I love being an American. I have so many freedoms that other humans just don't have in the rest of the world. Like the freedom to criticize my government, the freedom to choose my own religion, the freedom to call myself an American on YouTube, despite knowing that it's going to infuriate pedants who are going to be in the comments screaming about how America is actually several continents and not a country. And also, the freedom to use whatever apps I want to use. Did you guys know that in China, residents can't even use Facebook? Facebook, it's just a silly little app for talking with your friends, but it's because the authoritarian government of China is terrified of free speech, because if Chinese citizens have easy access to Western media, they're going to be brainwashed by our propaganda, and then they're going to want freedom and democracy, the things that I enjoy as an American. Anyway, let's see what my congressional representatives are up to today. A potential ban of TikTok in the United States sailed through the House of Representatives over the weekend as part of a $95 billion foreign aid package that garnered bipartisan support. The social media crackdown may stand poised to become law since President Joe Biden has vowed to sign it if it passes the Senate and reaches his desk. Oh well, nevertheless. Now, I have used TikTok. I am on there. I don't use it often because I find it annoying and not very interesting. But that's hardly a reason to ban it from the entire country. I also find Taylor Swift annoying and not interesting, but it should still be legal to buy her albums because this is America. And, why are they only talking about banning TikTok? There are certainly issues with how social media collects and uses our data, for instance, but what is it that makes TikTok so much worse than Facebook or Shitter? Well, apparently it's because of China. Senate Intelligence Committee Chair Mark Warner, Democrat from Virginia, an ardent supporter of the ban, urged the House on Thursday to pass the updated TikTok bill. For years, I've been raising the alarm about the powerful national security threat posed by TikTok, and I strongly support their divestiture from a company legally required to do the bidding of the Chinese Communist Party, Warner said. Proponents say a ban is necessary to prevent the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, from accessing American user data, which they worry could be used to spy on users or manipulate their interests. Oh, of course. In order to prevent an authoritarian regime from manipulating the smoothest of American brains, we must institute our own authoritarian regime to stop that from happening. It makes perfect sense, actually. So some people are going to argue that this isn't actually a ban because first we're giving the company a year to sell TikTok to someone more, American. But if they don't, at that point, a ban would presumably go into effect. That means that our government would force Apple and Google to remove the app from their stores, which means that new users can't download the app and existing users can no longer get updates, unless, of course, they use a VPN. Don't worry, I am not about to start shilling a VPN. It would be a perfect place for an ad break right there. But reminder, all my videos are sponsored by my patrons. So, if I'm ever recommending a VPN, I really mean it. So a VPN can make it look like you're trying to access the app from a different country, but the average TikTok user is absolutely not going to bother doing that. And I speak from experience here. When the US government decided to crack down on online poker by throwing a bunch of legal and financial obstacles in the way of players, 99% of users stopped playing. And the only people left were the ones who were making decent money, so they were incentivized to go through those hoops. And that, my friends, made online poker super not fun anymore, so they effectively banned it. So yeah, it's fine to call this a TikTok ban. It's also fine to call it a xenophobic, possibly unconstitutional distraction to make people think that our politicians give a shit about our privacy and our exposure to blatant disinformation, as they steadfastly refuse to take any real action to prevent us from being at risk of either of those things. Because here's the thing. Yeah, TikTok sucks. They collect as much data as they can on users, including voice, face, location data. They have previously censored anti-Chinese government topics like Falun Gong and Tiananmen Square, and they've had employees access sensitive user data, like when a Financial Times journalist learned that they were spying on her because she had written articles critical of them in the past. But you can say exactly the same for every other social media company. As Julia Anglin wrote for the New York Times back in March, Facebook helped incite a genocide in Myanmar. Shitter censors criticism of Elon Musk, amongst many other things. Google has fired dozens of employees for accessing private data, and misinformation runs rampant everywhere. If the Chinese government wants to sway gullible Americans' opinions, they don't need TikTok when they can just as easily do it on Facebook like the Russian government does. And if they want access to Americans' private data, they can just as easily buy it from data brokers just like the US government does. That's right. I'm so sorry if this shocks you, but perhaps one of the reasons the US government is trying to ban TikTok instead of passing comprehensive consumer privacy laws like those recommended by the EFF and other experts is because the United States government themselves profit from the lack of those consumer privacy laws. Data brokers are companies that collect your information, whether from bits of code in the apps you use, your social media presence, your grocery store loyalty card, or public records data. They then collect all of that data together to get a really clear picture of who you are, where you go, what you do. Sometimes they add in some extra algorithmic guesswork, like how long you're going to live and who you're probably going to vote for. Then they sell that package to someone else, whether that might be a financial institution considering giving you a loan, a con artist considering dragging you into a pig butchering scam, or the Department of Homeland Security considering shipping you off to Guantanamo. And they do all this legally, sort of maybe, thanks to some handy loopholes in the way they interpret the Fourth Amendment. A report from the Brennan Center for Justice describes the problem with our government buying data from brokers instead of bothering to investigate and get warrants for that data. Unfettered government access to personal data without judicial or legislative oversight can exacerbate existing biases in law enforcement and intelligence practices, permitting speculative investigations on the basis of constitutionally protected categories and the targeting of marginalized communities. Evidence of this phenomenon abounds, from the Defense Department purchasing location data collected from prayer apps to monitor Muslim communities, to police departments purchasing information to track racial justice protesters. As state governments continue to pass strict anti-abortion legislation, laws that disproportionately harm women of color, such misuses will only expand. And as President Biden's recent executive order on artificial intelligence acknowledges, the integration of new AI tools will make it easier to extract, re-identify, link, infer, and act on sensitive information about people's identities, locations, habits, and desires, amplifying the risks to Americans' privacy and freedoms of speech and association. They end that report, which they published back in February, with a call for Congress to please act quickly to close these loopholes that leave Americans at risk. And Congress has answered pretty clearly. Nope. We're just going to ban this one app and leave all of that warrantless spying in place. The TikTok ban is ridiculous and also dangerous. For one, it may lull the average American into thinking Congress is actually doing something to protect them, making it even less likely that we're ever going to see a comprehensive data privacy law. And it's also dangerous for our democracy. Giving the president the power to ban a social media app and thereby censor speech at whim might not seem like a big deal, but only if you forgot that Donald Trump was president for 4 years. And also if you forgot that Biden is a human who also sucks in his own ways. Anyway, if this garbage law passes, you can expect a lot of bad to come from it. And meanwhile, honestly, TikTok is going to keep on existing. There's the year-long grace period, and then there will be legal challenges and so on and so forth. And basically, maybe TikTok will be banned around the time that some new social media app catches our collective attention and we all forget about TikTok anyway. So if you get a chance to talk to your local Congress critter, please let them know that you'd actually prefer they do something positive and institute consumer privacy laws that will actually protect us instead of this weird xenophobic power trip. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you loved the video, please subscribe. And if you think the world could use more videos like this and you happen to have a few bucks laying around, head to patreon.com/Rebecca and join an awesome community of nerds like the people whose names you see on the screen right now. Thanks.